Welcome to this video on the power of focus, 10 habits to sharpen your mind. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, distracted, or like your brain just won't cooperate, this is for you. Today, you're going to learn practical habits that can transform the way you think, work, and live every single day. These are not vague tips or theories. You'll get clear steps you can start using immediately to train your mind, stay on task, and reach your goals faster. You'll discover how to resist distractions, manage your time, set meaningful goals, and maintain energy naturally so you can perform at your best. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete toolkit to sharpen your focus, strengthen your habits, and boost your productivity in a way that actually sticks. If you're ready to change how you think and act, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of this life-changing guidance. Number 1. Train your mind daily to resist distraction effortlessly. Train your mind daily to resist distraction effortlessly. The first step is to understand that focus is not a trait you either have or you do not possess. Focus is a skill that grows with deliberate practice, patience, and steady repetition. Every day you will face countless signals asking for attention: a buzzing phone, a new email, a habit of scanning headlines, or the pull to open a new tab. The difference between a life shaped by attention and a life that drifts is the way you handle those signals. This chapter gives a clear, practical, and disciplined plan that you can apply now to build steady resistance to distraction and to transform scattered energy into meaningful work. Start by building a simple ritual that anchors your attention. A ritual provides an automatic cue that your brain learns to associate with focused effort. Choose one small, reliable action you already perform each morning, like making coffee, brushing your teeth, or opening your laptop. Immediately after that action, begin a 2-minute focus drill. Sit upright, breathe in slowly for 4 breaths. Then exhale and hold your attention on a single clear statement, such as "I will work on X now." Set a timer for 2 minutes and keep your eyes on one object or one sentence. When your mind wanders, note the distraction without judgment and return to the breath. Do this 2-minute drill every morning for a week. This short, consistent practice builds the muscle of returning attention and trains the mind to resist the first impulse to drift. Design the environment to support focus. The world does not owe you concentration, so prepare an environment that encourages it. Remove or hide devices that distract. Put the phone in another room, in airplane mode, or in a simple drawer. Close unnecessary browser tabs and remove distracting apps from your desktop. Create a physical surface that is dedicated to single-purpose work. A plain notebook, a clean keyboard, and a single pen are enough. If possible, reserve a chair or corner that signals work. The fewer choices your senses face, the easier it is to keep attention on the chosen task. Small physical changes do more than willpower alone. Use time blocks with clear boundaries. Work in periods of focused effort, followed by short breaks. For many people, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off works well and scales up to longer blocks of 60 to 90 minutes for deep creative tasks. During a block, commit single-mindedly to one task. Close everything unrelated. Commit to one clear outcome, not vague activity. Instead of work on report, change the statement to draft 2 sections of the report. Start each block with a short intention statement and end it with a quick check of progress. Time blocks create urgency and make distractions less attractive because the task is finite. Plan simple implementation intentions to handle interruptions. Interruptions will come. Prepare an if-then plan in advance. For example, if a message arrives, then I will note it and respond during my next break. If a colleague knocks on the door, then I will say I am on a focused block and give a time when I will be available. Implementation intentions convert friction into predictable responses. They remove the need to decide in the moment, which is when distraction wins. Practice these statements out loud and adjust them for your context. Train the mind with graduated exposure to distraction. Resist does not mean avoid at all cost. It means grow tolerance for the urge without reacting. Use short exposures where you practice noticing urges and waiting. When a notification wants attention, do not act for 10 minutes. Use the urge surfing method. Notice the sensation, the thought, the pull in the body, label it, and let it pass. Each time you delay, you add a centimeter to your resistance. Keep a log of delays and celebrate small wins. This builds steady confidence. Practice focused breathing to reset attention in a single moment. When the mind fragments, breathe in for 4, hold for 1, breathe out for 6, and repeat 3 times. This resets heart rate, calms the nervous system, and returns the mind to the present. Pair this breathing with a tactile cue like pressing the pad of a finger or standing for a moment. These micro rituals anchor you quickly during meetings, sticky tasks, or moments when attention is taxed. Adopt single tasking as a daily rule. Multitasking is not efficient because attention carries switching costs. Do not attempt to do 2 cognitive tasks at once. If a task requires deep thinking, move all other tasks to a later block. Structure the day so complex tasks appear during periods of highest energy and routine tasks appear when energy wanes. Know your rhythm and respect it. Commit to single tasking for 1 full day, then 2 days, then a week. Track your energy and output. The results will encourage continuation. Create a distraction inventory. For 3 days, note every time attention breaks and record what happened, the time of day, and how you felt. This practice is not for shaming. It is data. Patterns appear quickly. Maybe social apps pull you during low mood, or email steals focus at mid-afternoon. Use the inventory to design targeted interventions. When a pattern is clear, apply small changes like moving social checks to a 20-minute window after lunch, or batching email responses to twice daily. Use pre-commitment to remove temptation from the path. Pre-commit by setting constraints that make distraction harder. Examples include uninstalling a distracting app, setting web blockers for specific hours, or agreeing with a colleague to meet only after a focused block. When money or consequences are attached, commitment becomes easier. Even simple measures like logging out of social media or placing the phone in a drawer, strengthened by a visible timer, change behavior immediately. Shift identity toward a person who protects attention. Habits stick when they connect to identity. Say, I am the kind of person who protects attention and does deep, meaningful work. Practice identity statements in short, crisp sentences and act in ways that match them. Each focused block is a vote for the identity. Over weeks, those votes change how you see yourself and how others see you. Use accountability and community to amplify progress. Focus training is easier when you share goals with another person or a small group. A short daily check-in or shared calendar of blocked times creates social friction to distraction. Pair up for sprints where 2 people start a focus block together for 45 minutes and check in afterward. Community norms encourage discipline and provide positive pressure to keep the routine. Make the decision to reduce inputs. Information overload weakens focus. Reduce the volume of incoming signals by unsubscribing from newsletters, muting unnecessary threads, and consolidating notifications. Choose a small set of reliable sources and ignore the rest. Apply a weekly review to clear the inbox and reduce mental clutter. The practice of regularly pruning inputs keeps the mind sharper. Practice a simple evening review to close the day. Spend 5 to 10 minutes noting what distracted attention, what worked, and 1 improvement for tomorrow. This minimalist reflection fuels steady progress. It keeps focus training concrete and incremental. Track 1 metric such as uninterrupted minutes per day or number of completed focused blocks. Improving a measurable metric creates momentum. Accept setbacks and practice resilience. Discipline appears when small failures are met with calm analysis, not harsh judgment. When attention slips, do not ruminate. Note the cause, adjust 1 variable and try again. Resilience is built by returning repeatedly, not by perfection. Use a stoic posture towards setbacks, observe them as data, and respond with steady correction. Apply these techniques in everyday life. At work, block your calendar for deep tasks for 2 90-minute sessions. At home, create a family signal such as a closed door or a simple sign that communicates you are on a focus block. For study, set a dedicated study space with a notebook for ideas and a timer for blocks. For creative work, begin with a 5-minute free write to clear the surface, then enter a focus block for drafting. For parenting, carve short, predictable windows of focus time and communicate them clearly. Begin now with a 30-day experiment. Week 1, build awareness with the 2-minute drill and the distraction inventory. Week 2, redesign the environment, remove notifications, and establish time blocks. Week 3, practice urge surfing and pre-commitment tactics. Week 4, measure progress, refine the ritual and expand focus blocks. Keep the plan simple and repeatable. The daily work of resisting distraction is a practice of self-governance. It sharpens the mind, reduces regret, and creates space for what matters. Each successful focused moment accumulates into a life where attention is chosen rather than given away. Train daily and meet distractions with steady, calm clarity and action. Over time, the mind will become a tool that serves purpose and not a servant to noise. Number 2. Prioritize your tasks consistently to achieve meaningful progress. Prioritize your tasks consistently to achieve meaningful progress. The ability to focus begins with clarity about what truly matters. Every day presents a multitude of options, demands, and urgencies that compete for attention. Without a conscious method to decide what deserves effort first, energy is scattered and progress slows. Prioritization is not about doing more, but about doing what contributes most to your goals. It transforms busyness into achievement, stress into structured action, and confusion into purpose. The practice requires discipline, reflection, and a willingness to confront discomfort, because choosing one task often means saying no to another. Start by creating a simple framework for evaluating tasks. The first step is to distinguish between urgent and important activities. Urgent tasks demand immediate attention, but may not advance long-term objectives. Important tasks move you closer to personal growth, career advancement, or meaningful goals, but may not scream for immediate attention. Each morning or the night before, list your responsibilities and label them according to urgency and importance. This clarity prevents reactive decision-making and reduces the anxiety of feeling overwhelmed by everything at once. Commit to tackling at least one high-importance task every day before turning to minor urgencies. Next, use the rule of 3. Select the 3 most important tasks that, if completed today, would make the day meaningful. Limit yourself to 3 to avoid dilution of effort. Completing these tasks provides a tangible sense of accomplishment and creates momentum. Once the top 3 are chosen, schedule them during your peak energy hours. Identify when your mind is most alert and focused. For many people, this is the morning, but energy levels vary. Aligning priority tasks with peak focus ensures they receive maximum attention and quality effort. Avoid filling these blocks with meetings or interruptions. Guard them as fiercely as essential appointments. Break tasks into actionable steps to prevent overwhelm. Large projects often stall because the next step is unclear. For every priority, define the smallest actionable step that moves the project forward. If the task is writing a report, the first step could be outlining key points. If it is learning a new skill, begin with 20 minutes of focused practice. These small actions create momentum. Each step completed reinforces a sense of progress and reduces procrastination. Check off each step visually to experience the psychological reward of forward movement. Incorporate a system to evaluate tasks based on long-term outcome. Ask yourself for every item on your list, Will completing this contribute meaningfully to my goals, growth, or values? Tasks that fail this test should either be delegated, postponed, or removed. Consistent evaluation sharpens decision-making. Over time, it trains the mind to automatically recognize what deserves attention. The practice of conscious evaluation is like mental pruning. It removes clutter and strengthens the ability to direct energy toward meaningful results. Create time blocks dedicated to priority work. Structure the day around the most important tasks rather than attempting to fit them between interruptions. Set aside a morning block for deep work, a midday block for planning or reflection, and an afternoon block for communication or lighter tasks. Protect these blocks with firm boundaries. Inform colleagues or family of your focused periods to minimize disruptions. Use a timer to define clear start and end points. The presence of a structured window encourages accountability and reduces the temptation to procrastinate. Treat these blocks as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. Develop a habit of reviewing priorities daily and weekly. At the end of each day, review what was accomplished and identify what still requires attention. Adjust priorities for the next day accordingly. Weekly reviews allow reflection on larger projects, progress toward long-term goals, and alignment with values. This continuous review system prevents drift, ensures consistent focus on meaningful objectives, and highlights areas where energy is wasted. The practice of regular review is a cornerstone of disciplined prioritization. Leverage the power of elimination. Many tasks consume time and attention without significant return. Learn to say no decisively. Declining certain responsibilities, invitations, or requests is not failure, it is the exercise of focus and self-respect. Set boundaries that prevent low-value tasks from infiltrating priority time. Each no creates space for the yes that matters most. Over time, this discipline strengthens the ability to prioritize without guilt or hesitation. Integrate reflection and foresight. Begin tasks with the end in mind. Consider the impact of each action on your goals and evaluate its necessity in the broader context of your life. Reflection prevents reactive behavior and ensures actions align with values. Anticipate upcoming demands and prepare strategies to handle them efficiently. By considering potential obstacles and outcomes, you reduce wasted effort and improve task completion quality. Foresight transforms prioritization from a daily reactive practice into a proactive strategy that guides long-term achievement. Develop the mindset of deliberate focus. Prioritization is not just a method, but a philosophy. Approach every task with intention, asking why it matters and what benefit its completion brings. This mindset fosters discipline, reduces distraction, and promotes resilience when challenges arise. A deliberate approach converts even mundane tasks into meaningful contributions when connected to purpose. Each act of prioritization strengthens mental clarity and sharpens the ability to concentrate on what is truly important. Use accountability to reinforce prioritization. Share your goals and daily priorities with a mentor, coach, or trusted colleague. A simple check-in encourages commitment and discourages avoidance. Public or social accountability increases follow-through and helps internalize the habit of consistently selecting tasks that matter most. Over time, accountability patterns also offer valuable perspectives that enhance decision-making and task evaluation. Incorporate energy management into task prioritization. Recognize that focus is limited and energy fluctuates throughout the day. Schedule demanding tasks when alertness is high and routine or administrative tasks during low energy periods. Include short breaks to prevent fatigue and sustain performance. Energy-conscious prioritization ensures that high-value tasks receive not just attention, but high-quality effort. Managing energy alongside priorities maximizes efficiency and produces superior results without unnecessary strain. Automate or delegate repetitive low-value tasks to free mental space. By offloading minor responsibilities, more attention is available for high-priority work. Delegation and automation require careful planning and trust, but are essential tools for consistent prioritization. Create systems that reduce cognitive load and allow the mind to focus on meaningful challenges. Reclaiming mental bandwidth is as critical as assessing the right tasks to pursue. Maintain a flexible yet disciplined approach. Priorities will shift due to unforeseen events, emergencies, or opportunities. Flexibility does not mean abandoning structure. Adjust the plan while preserving focus on high-value outcomes. Evaluate changes critically and integrate them thoughtfully. A disciplined approach ensures that flexibility does not turn into distraction, and that the most important goals remain at the forefront of daily action. Commit to a continuous improvement mindset. Consistent prioritization is a skill that improves with deliberate practice. Reflect on methods, analyze outcomes, and refine the process regularly. Celebrate progress and identify patterns of success and error. Over months, this habit transforms task management from a mechanical process into an intuitive practice that shapes every decision. Prioritization becomes not just a method but a habit of life, producing steady forward motion toward meaningful growth. Take immediate action on your top priorities each day. Waiting or overthinking reduces momentum and erodes confidence. Begin work on high-value tasks immediately, even if conditions are not perfect. The act of starting generates clarity, energy, and motivation. Each completed priority reinforces self-trust and demonstrates the tangible benefits of disciplined focus. Momentum builds exponentially when the first priority is addressed without delay. Recognize the connection between prioritization and long-term life quality. Every focused day compounds into meaningful results. By consistently choosing what matters most, stress decreases, confidence increases, and satisfaction grows. Prioritization is a practice that shapes character, sharpens the mind, and creates a life guided by deliberate choice rather than external demand. Each decision to act with intention strengthens resilience and fosters the ability to achieve goals without being overwhelmed by trivial distractions. Finally, approach prioritization as a lifelong discipline. Treat each day as an opportunity to refine the habit, improve judgment, and align actions with values. Each completed priority is a step toward mastery of focus, energy, and personal growth. By consistently applying these principles, progress becomes inevitable, and life becomes a series of meaningful accomplishments built on the foundation of deliberate, consistent prioritization. Number 3. Eliminate unnecessary inputs to strengthen mental clarity immediately. Eliminate unnecessary inputs to strengthen mental clarity immediately. The mind is constantly processing more information than it can truly handle. Every notification, every email, every headline competes for attention and slowly erodes mental clarity. The first step in regaining focus is recognizing that not all inputs are essential. Mental clarity is not simply a product of discipline, but of intelligent selection. By reducing unnecessary information, the brain is freed to think deeply, solve problems efficiently, and act decisively. Each unneeded input removed creates space for insight, creativity, and meaningful work. Begin by identifying sources of constant stimulation. Look at every device, application, and media channel that demands attention. Social media feeds push trivialities in endless streams. Email alerts interrupt thoughts at random intervals. News cycles provoke reactive emotions rather than thoughtful responses. Consider which of these sources genuinely contributes to your goals, knowledge, or personal growth. For the first week, conduct an audit of all information channels and record how often each pulls your attention. Awareness is the foundation of elimination. Prioritize quality over quantity in all incoming information. Instead of absorbing multiple perspectives simultaneously, Choose one or two trusted sources. Select books, newsletters, or podcasts that consistently provide actionable insights or enrich your understanding. Limit casual consumption of content that offers fleeting amusement or constant stimulation. Reducing the volume allows the mind to process what is received fully, rather than skim superficially. This shift from indiscriminate consumption to selective engagement strengthens comprehension and long-term retention. Create specific rules for digital and physical environments. Remove unnecessary applications and desktop clutter. Disable notifications that interrupt focus. Silence group chats that do not require immediate attention. For physical spaces, reduce papers, gadgets, and objects that are not part of the immediate task. Every extraneous element is a potential distraction. By streamlining the environment, attention naturally gravitates toward the work that matters. Simplicity in surroundings fosters simplicity in thought. Adopt scheduled consumption practices. Limit email, social media, and news to predefined time. Avoid constant background exposure to multiple channels. Treat incoming information like a visitor who only arrives at scheduled hours. This approach prevents reactive behavior and allows focus blocks to remain uninterrupted. When information is received intentionally rather than accidentally, it carries greater significance and reduces mental fatigue. Practice decisive filtering. Ask for every input, does this contribute to knowledge, action, or value? If the answer is no, remove it immediately. Unsubscribe from email lists that rarely offer actionable content. Unfollow social media accounts that spark anxiety, envy, or distraction. Archive or delete files that are no longer useful. Mental clutter parallels physical clutter. Both reduce efficiency. Elimination is not deprivation, but a strategic choice that empowers attention. Establish a daily review ritual to maintain clarity. Each evening, scan your digital and physical environments for unnecessary items. Remove or relocate objects, mute notifications, and reorganize resources. This daily maintenance prevents buildup of minor distractions into overwhelming clutter. Consistency in this practice trains the mind to expect a clear workspace and a clear mental state, reinforcing the habit of eliminating the unnecessary automatically. Implement a minimalist approach to communication. Limit the number of messages sent and received. Avoid prolonged conversations that do not advance objectives. When communicating, be concise and intentional. Focused communication reduces cognitive load and ensures more energy is available for meaningful tasks. Reducing unnecessary verbal or written exchanges allows the brain to conserve attention for high-priority activities. Guard against multitasking by controlling information streams. Each new email, pop-up, or alert divides attention and weakens mental coherence. Address one channel at a time. When reading an article, give it full attention. When responding to a message, finish it completely before switching. By engaging fully in each interaction, mental clarity improves, comprehension deepens, and errors decrease. Multitasking is an illusion that steals time and clarity. Controlling inputs restores reality to the mind. Use periods of intentional silence to strengthen focus. Allocate blocks where no digital or external input is allowed. This may include a short morning session, a midday walk, or a quiet evening reflection. Silence allows the mind to process previous inputs, organize thoughts, and develop new insights. Repeated practice of these moments enhances mental resilience and the ability to filter out irrelevant stimuli. The mind becomes sharper because it is exercised in discernment rather than constant reception. Adopt a single-source strategy for information-heavy tasks. When researching a project or learning a skill, choose one reliable source and extract all necessary insights before consulting another. This prevents the mind from bouncing between fragmented perspectives, which often creates confusion rather than clarity. By mastering one source at a time, knowledge becomes integrated and usable rather than scattered and superficial. Practice conscious breathing or meditation to process and reset. Even a brief 5-minute breathing exercise or focused observation helps the brain let go of unnecessary mental chatter. Each session reinforces the habit of recognizing intrusive or irrelevant inputs and releasing them without judgment. Mental clarity improves because attention is trained to remain anchored rather than dispersed across multiple streams of noise. Consider the emotional weight of input. Not all information affects only cognition. Some create stress, anxiety, or distraction. Identify content that triggers unproductive emotions and remove or limit exposure. Reducing emotional clutter is as important as reducing informational clutter. Mental clarity thrives in an environment where energy is not constantly drained by unnecessary reactions. Emotional discipline and selective exposure are essential tools in the pursuit of focused thought. Delegate or automate information collection when possible. Use tools that summarize news or reports and filter notifications based on relevance. Rely on trusted colleagues or assistants to manage non-essential inputs. By offloading repetitive or trivial information tasks, attention can concentrate on analysis, decision-making, and creative work. Strategic delegation creates mental bandwidth that is otherwise consumed by the constant flow of minor details. Commit to long-term digital hygiene. Periodically audit devices, email lists, apps, and accounts to ensure only relevant inputs remain. Schedule quarterly or monthly reviews to declutter systematically. This habit prevents gradual accumulation of distractions and maintains sustained mental clarity. Discipline in digital hygiene mirrors the practice of physical decluttering and supports a strong foundation for focus. Engage the body to support mental clarity. Proper nutrition, hydration, and movement influence cognitive performance. Physical clutter and energy depletion can amplify mental distraction. Treat the body as a partner in focus by reducing intake of overstimulating substances, taking short exercise breaks, and maintaining a healthy sleep schedule. Inputs are not just informational, they are sensory. Careful management of bodily inputs enhances mental acuity. Recognize the cumulative effect of small distractions. Even minor interruptions add up over time to significant mental fatigue. Tracking moments of distraction helps to identify patterns that can be addressed. Every removed input, however small, contributes to a clearer, more coherent mind. Over weeks, the cumulative impact becomes visible in sharper decision-making, improved memory, and heightened creativity. Integrate focused work sessions immediately after eliminating inputs. Once distractions are minimized, the brain can enter deep attention states more easily. Schedule periods where no unnecessary inputs are allowed and measure productivity during these blocks. Compare outcomes to previous unfocused periods. The contrast demonstrates the tangible benefits of removing irrelevant stimuli, reinforcing commitment to the practice. Understand that elimination is not permanent deprivation. Inputs can be reintroduced deliberately and selectively. The goal is not avoidance but intentional engagement. When a new source is introduced, evaluate its contribution before allowing it into the daily routine. Each input should serve purpose rather than create noise. Over time, this disciplined practice strengthens judgment, self-control, and mental clarity, resulting in a consistently sharp and agile mind, capable of deep thought and effective action. By systematically removing unnecessary inputs and reinforcing intentional engagement, mental clarity becomes a sustainable condition rather than a fleeting state. Daily life becomes easier, decisions become faster, and attention is fully available for the tasks that truly matter. The consistent practice of eliminating distractions immediately cultivates a mind that is calm, precise, and capable of profound focus, forming the foundation for meaningful achievement and personal growth.
Number 4.
Develop deep concentration habits to complete work efficiently. Develop deep concentration habits to complete work efficiently. The ability to concentrate deeply transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Concentration is not a passive skill but a trained response cultivated through discipline, repetition, and strategic practice. The world constantly interrupts with notifications, meetings, and low-value tasks, and only by systematically strengthening concentration can meaningful work be accomplished consistently. Developing this skill requires structured practice, a clear understanding of personal energy cycles, and an intentional approach to minimizing internal and external distractions. Deep concentration allows the mind to enter a state of flow, where tasks are completed faster, mistakes decrease, and the sense of effort diminishes. Begin by structuring your day around high concentration periods. Each person has moments when mental energy peaks. Observe patterns over several days to identify when the mind is sharpest. Reserve these windows for work requiring uninterrupted attention, such as problem solving, writing, or strategic planning. During these periods, eliminate all interruptions and treat the time as sacred. The combination of scheduled focus and awareness of energy peaks ensures work is done efficiently and with high quality. Protecting these blocks cultivates a habitual rhythm of deep engagement. Use micro-focus exercises to train attention gradually. Start with small, controlled periods, such as 10 or 15 minutes of undistracted work on a single task. During these sessions, resist the urge to check email, messages, or social media. When the mind wanders, note the distraction without judgment and gently return to the task. Gradually increase the duration of focused sessions over weeks, allowing the brain to adapt without fatigue. Consistent practice builds mental endurance and strengthens neural pathways that support sustained attention. Eliminate all possible interruptions during concentration periods. Silence devices, close unnecessary tabs, and remove visual clutter from the workspace. Even minor distractions draw cognitive energy away from the task at hand. By controlling the environment, attention can remain on the chosen activity. Consider the workspace as a dedicated arena for focus, where only essential items are present. Minimalism in surroundings reduces decision fatigue and enhances mental clarity, making it easier to sustain deep concentration for extended periods. Practice a single-tasking approach. Multitasking diminishes productivity and divides attention, preventing the brain from achieving deep focus. Commit to completing one meaningful task at a time before moving to the next. Break larger projects into actionable steps and tackle each step fully. Completing one task fully before beginning another reinforces efficiency, provides clear progress markers, and reduces cognitive stress. Single-tasking is not merely a preference, it is a foundational habit for sustained mental power. Incorporate ritualistic cues to signal the beginning of a concentration session. Rituals such as lighting a candle, arranging the workspace, or reciting a brief intention statement prime the brain for focus. These cues create psychological association with deep work and reduce mental resistance to starting tasks. Repeated rituals strengthen the habit loop, making concentrated work more automatic and less dependent on motivation. Over time, initiation becomes effortless because the mind anticipates engagement rather than procrastination. Practice deliberate breaks to preserve energy. Continuous concentration without rest reduces efficiency and diminishes mental stamina. Use brief pauses to stretch, breathe, or walk. These micro breaks refresh neural pathways and allow ideas to consolidate. By alternating focused work with structured rest, productivity remains high over longer periods and the brain remains agile. Deep concentration is not about unbroken hours of work, but about cycles that maintain peak cognitive performance. Develop a mindset oriented toward clarity and purpose. Each task undertaken during a concentration period should have a defined goal, Avoid ambiguous objectives that reduce mental engagement. Clearly defined outcomes provide direction and increase motivation to sustain focus. Regularly remind yourself of the importance of the work and the impact of completion. This clarity anchors the mind and reduces susceptibility to wandering thoughts. Leverage visualization techniques to reinforce focus. Before beginning a session, visualize completing the task efficiently and successfully. Picture the process in detail, including obstacles, actions, and successful resolution. Visualization prepares the mind for deep engagement and primes problem-solving abilities. It creates a mental blueprint that guides sustained attention and reduces distraction. The combination of visualization and deliberate action accelerates the acquisition of concentration skills. Incorporate periodic reflection to monitor improvement. After each focus session, review what worked and what disrupted attention. Identify patterns and adjust strategies accordingly. Reflection ensures that concentration habits evolve with experience rather than remaining static. Use this feedback to optimize session length, environmental conditions, and pre-task routines. Continuous refinement strengthens deep focus over time and embeds efficiency into the workflow. Train mental endurance with challenging tasks. Purposefully choose complex projects that demand sustained attention. Gradually increase difficulty and duration to expand capacity. Avoid easy or superficial work during concentration blocks because they fail to build resilience. Challenging tasks stretch the brain and reinforce neural circuits necessary for prolonged focus. Over time, the mind adapts to sustained effort, and efficiency rises even under pressure. Use accountability systems to reinforce concentration habits. Share progress with a mentor, colleague, or group. Reporting regularly on completed tasks or focused sessions encourages commitment and consistency. Accountability converts intention into action, strengthens self-discipline, and maintains momentum even when intrinsic motivation fluctuates. Deep concentration becomes a habit embedded in both personal commitment and social reinforcement. Eliminate unnecessary mental clutter prior to work. Take a few minutes to list pending concerns or minor tasks. Clear the mind by writing down ideas and obligations that might otherwise intrude during concentration. Addressing mental clutter before focused work allows the brain to devote energy exclusively to the task at hand. Pre-session preparation ensures uninterrupted flow and reduces the cognitive cost of returning to focus repeatedly. Integrate environmental cues that enhance alertness. Adjust lighting, temperature, and seating to maintain comfort without promoting lethargy. Use subtle auditory signals, such as instrumental music or white noise if it aids concentration. The goal is to create conditions where the body supports sustained mental effort without overstimulation. Optimized surroundings amplify focus and efficiency naturally. Develop patience and acceptance of mental wandering. Distractions are inevitable. The key is to return quickly without frustration. Observing the wandering mind and gently redirecting it strengthens neural pathways for attention control. Each return to focus reinforces mental resilience and builds a habit of disciplined thought. Over time, the mind becomes adept at recognizing and dismissing irrelevant impulses efficiently. Combine deep work with incremental goal tracking. Define measurable outcomes for each concentration session. Break tasks into smaller milestones and monitor completion. Tangible markers reinforce progress, boost motivation, and create a feedback loop that sustains effort. Tracking progress transforms abstract tasks into concrete achievements, enhancing both efficiency and satisfaction. Use self-reward strategically to reinforce consistency. After completing a focused session or significant milestone, allow a small but meaningful reward. This practice reinforces the habit without creating dependency on external validation. Rewards signal accomplishment and solidify the association between effort, concentration, and success. Develop the discipline to resist interruptions proactively. Communicate boundaries clearly to colleagues, family, or others sharing the space. Preempt potential disruptions by scheduling collaborative sessions outside deep work periods. Proactive management of interruptions preserves mental energy and maximizes the effectiveness of concentration periods. Finally, commit to sustained practice over weeks and months. Deep concentration is a skill built through repetition and progressive challenge. Short-term efforts yield minor gains. Consistent, deliberate application transforms the brain into a highly efficient tool for work. Daily dedication, reflection, and refinement cultivate mental endurance, resilience, and the ability to achieve complex tasks efficiently. Mastery of concentration empowers action, enhances productivity, and lays the foundation for meaningful long-term success. Number 5. Practice mindfulness regularly to improve awareness and decision-making. Practice mindfulness regularly to improve awareness and decision-making. Awareness is the foundation of every conscious choice. Without noticing thoughts, emotions, and environmental cues, decisions are often reactive, impulsive, or misaligned with long-term goals. Mindfulness is the deliberate cultivation of present-moment attention, an exercise that strengthens perception, clarity, and judgment. It is not a passive observation, but an active engagement with experience. Practicing mindfulness consistently rewires the brain to respond with clarity rather than react with habit, enabling more deliberate and effective choices in work, relationships, and personal growth. Start by dedicating a small, consistent period each day to mindfulness practice. Even 5 to 10 minutes of focused attention can create measurable improvement over time. Sit comfortably, focus on the rhythm of the breath, and notice sensations without judgment. When the mind wanders, gently return focus to the breath or chosen anchor. This practice builds the mental skill of noticing distraction and redirecting attention, which is directly transferable to daily tasks and decision-making processes. Extend mindfulness beyond formal practice into everyday activities. While walking, eating, or performing routine chores, maintain awareness of sensory experiences. Feel the ground beneath the feet, notice the texture and taste of food, and observe sounds or movements in the environment. Engaging fully in these moments trains the mind to remain present under all circumstances. Awareness cultivated in ordinary actions strengthens concentration and reduces habitual mental drift during more complex decisions. Observe thoughts and emotions as neutral events. Rather than labeling thoughts as good or bad, view them as signals providing information. Notice feelings such as frustration, excitement, or doubt without reacting immediately. By creating space between impulse and action, mindfulness enables decisions to arise from clarity rather than reflex. This skill enhances emotional regulation and ensures responses are aligned with values rather than fleeting urges. Incorporate mindful breathing during high-pressure or distracting moments. A brief pause to take several slow, intentional breaths can reset the nervous system and create clarity. Even a single minute of focused inhalation and exhalation reduces impulsive responses, sharpens attention, and encourages rational evaluation. Using breath as an anchor allows the mind to transition from reactive mode to deliberate, mindful engagement. Engage in body scanning to increase awareness of physical sensations. Start at the top of the head and systematically notice areas of tension, discomfort, or ease. Physical awareness often precedes emotional insight, revealing stress points or habitual holding patterns that influence mental clarity. Recognizing physical cues enables preemptive adjustment, improving comfort, attention, and decision-making efficiency. Practice mindful observation of external events. Watch interactions, surroundings, and situations with curiosity rather than judgment. Note patterns, repetitions, and subtle cues that might otherwise go unnoticed. Mindful observation develops perceptual acuity, helping recognize opportunities, risks, and important details in everyday life. The act of noticing without immediate reaction strengthens mental flexibility and promotes balanced responses. Apply mindfulness to decision-making by slowing the process intentionally. Before acting, take a moment to pause, assess information, and consider options. Ask questions such as, what is most aligned with my goals? What will this action produce in the short and long term? Mindfulness enables thoughtful evaluation rather than knee-jerk reaction, leading to more effective outcomes and fewer regrets. Maintain a non-judgmental perspective toward mistakes or unexpected outcomes. Mindfulness trains acceptance of reality as it is, which reduces anxiety and rumination. When decisions do not produce the desired result, notice the experience, analyze objectively, and adjust without self-criticism. This approach strengthens resilience and supports continuous improvement in both focus and action. Integrate mindful listening into interactions. Pay full attention to speakers without planning responses in advance or letting the mind wander. Observe tone, body language, and content carefully. Active listening enhances understanding, strengthens relationships, and supports more informed decisions. The quality of input significantly affects the quality of output, and mindfulness ensures the information received is accurate and complete. Use mindfulness to observe habitual thinking patterns. Identify recurring themes such as worry, self-doubt, or distraction that influence perception and action. By noticing these tendencies, interventions can be applied to redirect focus, prevent impulsive reactions, and enhance decision quality. Recognizing patterns is critical for long-term self-awareness and personal development. Introduce short pauses before reacting to stimuli, notifications, or requests. This moment of awareness creates a buffer between impulse and response, allowing decisions to be grounded in priority rather than urgency. Over time, these micro-practices of mindfulness reshape behavioral habits and enhance self-control. Combine journaling with mindfulness to reinforce reflection. After practice or key daily events, write down observations about thoughts, feelings, and reactions. Document patterns, decisions, and insights gained. This process externalizes mental content, clarifies thinking, and reveals opportunities for deliberate adjustments. Journaling transforms ephemeral awareness into tangible knowledge that informs future choices. Incorporate gratitude into mindful practice. Noticing positive aspects of life or achievements cultivates a balanced perspective, reducing stress and increasing focus. Gratitude practice heightens awareness of meaningful factors in life, which informs priorities and decision-making. By integrating recognition of value into awareness, choices become aligned with what truly matters rather than fleeting or superficial concerns. Practice mindful transitions between tasks. When shifting from one activity to another, pause briefly to reset attention. Notice the ending of one engagement and consciously prepare for the next. Mindful transitions reduce carryover distractions, maintain mental clarity, and enhance efficiency. The mind becomes more adept at entering focused states and sustaining attention without disruption. Adopt mindful movement practices to support cognitive clarity. Activities such as walking, yoga, or stretching, performed with deliberate attention to sensations, rhythm, and posture, engage the body and mind simultaneously. Movement practices reduce mental fatigue, sharpen perception, and integrate bodily awareness into decision-making. Coordinating physical and mental focus strengthens the overall capacity for attention and deliberate action. Integrate mindfulness into long-term planning and reflection. Consider weekly or monthly reviews where attention is directed fully toward evaluating priorities, progress, and alignment with values. Observing patterns in decision-making and outcomes provides insight into strengths, blind spots, and habitual tendencies. Mindfulness applied to reflection ensures future choices are informed, deliberate, and aligned with personal purpose. Use mindfulness to manage sensory overload. In environments with excessive stimuli, consciously observe without immediate engagement, prioritize essential information, and defer trivial distractions. This selective attention preserves mental energy, enhances clarity, and improves the quality of responses. Training the mind to filter sensory input strengthens focus and reduces cognitive exhaustion. Practice curiosity within mindfulness. Approach observations and experiences with genuine interest and openness. Curiosity reduces judgment, encourages exploration, and reveals hidden insight. A mindful, curious perspective uncovers details and connections that might otherwise be overlooked, enriching decision-making and problem-solving. Recognize that consistent mindfulness builds a foundation for sustained focus. Daily practice strengthens attention, reduces impulsivity, and heightens awareness of both internal and external factors influencing behavior. Over time, these habits enhance the quality of every choice, create resilience under pressure, and foster clarity in complex situations. Mindfulness becomes not just a technique, but a default mode of conscious engagement with the world. Commit to mindfulness as a daily discipline. Progress may be gradual, but each moment of awareness compounds over time. The mind becomes more agile, perceptions more precise, and decisions more aligned with personal values. By practicing mindfulness regularly, awareness deepens, judgment improves, and actions are guided by clarity, intentionality, and insight rather than distraction, habit, or impulsivity. Number 6. Set clear goals daily to direct focus and energy. Set clear goals daily to direct focus and energy. The mind performs best when it has a precise target. Without clear daily objectives, attention drifts, tasks multiply, and energy dissipates on low-value activities. Goals act as guiding lights, helping to navigate decisions, allocate time efficiently, and measure progress accurately. Daily goal setting is not about grand achievements, but about creating a concrete roadmap that aligns effort with purpose. By establishing clarity at the start of each day, every action becomes deliberate, productive, and purposeful, transforming ordinary routines into meaningful progress. Begin by identifying the most impactful tasks for the day. Review pending projects, obligations, and personal priorities. Ask which actions will advance your objectives most significantly. Distinguish between urgent but low-value tasks and those that produce meaningful results. Select a small number of primary goals, usually 2 or 3, that will shape your day. Limiting the number of goals ensures focus is concentrated and prevents energy from being scattered across too many minor undertakings. Write down goals in precise, actionable language. A goal like improved productivity is vague, but draft 3 sections of the report by 11 a.m. provides a clear, measurable target. Writing the goal reinforces commitment, creates a visual reminder, and reduces mental ambiguity. The act of recording goals strengthens accountability to oneself and clarifies the immediate steps required to achieve success. Prioritize goals based on impact and alignment, with long-term objectives. Daily goals should support broader aspirations, rather than merely respond to minor urgencies. Evaluate each goal by asking if its completion contributes to personal growth, professional development, or meaningful outcomes. Tasks that fail this test should either be delegated, deferred, or removed entirely. Consistent evaluation aligns daily activity with values and ensures energy is invested in what matters most. Allocate specific time blocks for each goal. Assign start and end times for tasks to create structure and urgency. Structured blocks reduce decision fatigue, prevent procrastination, and encourage sustained attention. When a task has a clearly defined window, the brain treats it as a priority, enhancing concentration and efficiency. Protect these periods from interruptions by communicating boundaries and limiting exposure to potential distractions. Break larger goals into actionable steps. Complex objectives often stall due to vagueness or perceived difficulty. Decompose each goal into smaller, tangible actions that can be completed within the day. This method generates momentum, reduces stress, and provides regular feedback on progress. Checking off individual steps reinforces accomplishment and strengthens motivation to continue toward the overall goal. Use a morning ritual to set intention for daily goals. Take a few moments at the start of the day to visualize completion, anticipate challenges, and reaffirm purpose. Visualizing the process creates mental readiness and primes the brain for focused effort. Pair this with a short written affirmation or plan to solidify the commitment. A ritual signals to the mind that goal-directed activity is beginning, enhancing both consistency and clarity. Review goals periodically throughout the day. Short check-ins ensure tasks are progressing as planned and allow for adjustments if instincts change. Awareness of current status prevents drift, maintains momentum, and ensures that energy is applied to the most relevant area. Adjustments should be deliberate and informed rather than reactive, preserving alignment with intended outcome. Combine goal setting with energy management. Schedule high-priority, demanding tasks when cognitive capacity is at its peak. Place routine, low-effort activities in periods of lower energy. This alignment maximizes efficiency and ensures that critical goals receive the attention they require. Consider factors like sleep quality, nutrition, and emotional state when planning execution to maintain peak performance. Integrate accountability mechanisms to reinforce goal completion. Share objectives with a mentor, colleague, or supportive peer. Publicizing goals creates social pressure to follow through, encourages consistency, and provides external feedback. Regular updates on progress cultivate a habit of responsibility and increase the likelihood of achieving daily targets. Accountability converts intention into action. Anticipate obstacles that could hinder goal achievement. Consider potential interruptions, emotional barriers, or resource limitations. Plan proactive strategies to manage these challenges, such as contingency time blocks, reminders, or alternative approaches. By preparing for setbacks in advance, focus remains intact, and energy is preserved for meaningful action rather than problem-solving in the moment. Reflect on progress at the end of each day. Assess which goals were completed, which were deferred, and what factors influenced outcomes. Identify patterns of success and areas for improvement. Reflection provides feedback, reinforces learning, and informs adjustments for subsequent days. Daily evaluation is a critical component of continuous improvement and strengthens self-awareness. Celebrate completion of meaningful goals. Recognizing achievement reinforces motivation and strengthens the habit of deliberate focus. Celebration does not need to be elaborate. Even a moment of acknowledgement or personal reward creates positive reinforcement. Recognition of progress builds confidence and encourages consistent engagement with daily goal setting. Avoid overloading daily goals. Attempting too many objectives dilutes attention and decreases the likelihood of meaningful progress. Focus on a manageable number of goals, ensuring each receives sufficient time and energy for quality execution. Discipline in selecting and limiting goals cultivates precision, efficiency, and the satisfaction of tangible accomplishment. Integrate goals across different life domains. Include professional, personal, and health-oriented objectives to create balanced progress. Cross-domain goal setting prevents neglect of essential areas, ensures holistic growth, and reinforces the habit of intentional action in all aspects of life. Even a brief acknowledgement of multiple domains encourages integration and consistency. Develop a clear end-of-day closure ritual. Review completed tasks, adjust unfinished goals for the following day, and mentally disengage from work-related concerns. Closure strengthens psychological boundaries, reduces stress, and primes the mind for restorative rest. Daily closure ensures that each day's effort compounds effectively without interference from residual distractions or unfinished mental loops. Practice flexibility without losing focus. Unplanned events or urgent issues will inevitably arise. Adjust goals and priorities thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively. Maintaining clarity about what matters ensures that energy is redirected efficiently, rather than dissipated on less meaningful tasks. Adaptation with awareness preserves momentum and reinforces resilience. Use goal setting to enhance decision-making. With a clear plan for the day, choices become guided by purpose rather than impulse. Every decision can be filtered through the lens of daily objectives. Does this action support or hinder today's goals? This framework reduces cognitive load, accelerates decision-making, and maintains focus on meaningful outcomes. Document goals for both accountability and insight. Written records provide a reference for evaluation, pattern recognition, and progress tracking. Over weeks and months, this documentation illuminates trends in productivity, identifies obstacles, and informs strategic planning. Tracking performance consolidates learning and reinforces the habit of purposeful daily focus. Pair goal setting with visualization of successful completion. Mentally rehearsing the achievement of daily objectives enhances motivation, builds confidence, and prepares the mind to execute tasks effectively. Visualization strengthens neural pathways related to planning, attention, and action, making the translation from intention to behavior more seamless and natural. Commit to daily goal setting as a non-negotiable habit. Consistency transforms the practice from occasional effort into a reliable system that directs energy efficiently. Each day's commitment compounds, producing steady progress toward long-term objectives. By establishing clarity, structuring effort, and reviewing outcomes daily, the mind becomes a precise instrument for achieving what truly matters. With clear daily goals, focus becomes intentional, energy is preserved, and productivity increases. Every decision, action, and choice aligns with purpose. The discipline of consistent goal setting cultivates self-mastery, strengthens resilience, and ensures that progress accumulates steadily. Over time, daily clarity translates into significant achievements, personal growth, and the ability to direct life with conscious intention rather than random reaction. Number 7. Manage your time wisely to maximize productivity every day. Manage your time wisely to maximize productivity every day. Time is the one resource that cannot be recovered once spent. Every choice about how minutes are allocated directly impacts results, focus, and energy. Effective time management is not about doing more tasks, but about doing the right tasks at the right time. It transforms pressure into clarity, chaos into structure, and scattered effort into tangible achievement. By mastering daily time management, the mind and body operate efficiently, energy is conserved, and goals are steadily advanced. Begin by mapping your day with intention. Examine obligations, responsibilities, and personal goals. Identify periods of peak energy and allocate high-priority tasks to those windows. Lesser demanding tasks should be scheduled during natural dips in focus. Awareness of your own energy cycles ensures that time is spent on activities that produce maximum return. By planning intentionally, rather than reacting to circumstances, each hour becomes a tool rather than a distraction. Use time blocking to structure focus periods. Divide the day into distinct segments dedicated to specific tasks or categories of work. Clearly defined blocks create urgency and reduce indecision about what to do next. Protect these blocks from interruptions, notifications, and unrelated demands. Committing to focused intervals encourages deeper engagement, faster completion, and higher quality outcomes. Time blocks transform the day into a series of manageable, deliberate efforts rather than a series of reactive responses. Prioritize tasks based on value and impact. Apply a hierarchy that separates essential actions from optional or trivial ones. Focus first on items that advance critical goals or provide meaningful results. Avoid spending excessive time on tasks that produce minimal outcomes. By concentrating on high-impact work, progress accumulates efficiently, and mental energy is preserved for truly significant activities. Eliminate time-wasting habits systematically. Identify recurring behaviors that consume attention without producing results, such as unnecessary meetings, social media scrolling, or multitasking on trivial matters. Replace these habits with structured time for meaningful work or restorative breaks. Reducing low-value activities frees hours that can be applied toward focus-driven goals. Regular assessment of daily routines helps identify and remove hidden inefficiencies. Use preparation to streamline tasks. Lay out materials, tools, or information in advance to minimize time spent searching or deciding in the moment. Organize digital files, workspace, and schedules for easy access. Anticipation of needs reduces friction, accelerates completion, and preserves mental energy for the task itself, rather than ancillary distractions. Efficient preparation converts time into a productive ally rather than an obstacle. Apply the 2-minute rule for small tasks. If an action can be completed in 2 minutes or less, do it immediately. Delaying minor actions creates mental clutter and fragmented time. Acting promptly on small items prevents backlog accumulation and reduces cognitive load. Managing these small tasks efficiently creates uninterrupted space for larger, more demanding projects while maintaining momentum throughout the day. Use strategic batching for repetitive activities. Group similar tasks together to reduce switching costs and maximize efficiency. For example, process all emails, phone calls, or administrative work within a single block rather than scattering them across the day. Batching consolidates energy and attention, enabling higher focus and faster execution while maintaining a clear mental framework for priority work. Establish clear start and end times for each task. Avoid the trap of open-ended work, which often leads to extended periods of inefficiency. Define concrete boundaries for effort to create urgency and encourage deliberate pacing. Time constraints sharpen attention, increase productivity, and prevent burnout caused by overextending focus on individual items. Structured boundaries allow for sustainable progress without fatigue or distraction. Schedule periodic reviews to assess progress. At the end of each day, evaluate what was accomplished, identify deviations, and adjust plans for the following day. Weekly assessments provide a broader view of efficiency, uncover patterns of wasted time, and highlight areas for improvement. Reflection reinforces learning, encourages disciplined use of time, and ensures that priorities remain aligned with larger goals. Incorporate buffer periods to handle unexpected demands. Life is unpredictable, and emergencies or urgent matters may arise. Allocating small windows between focus blocks prevents disruption of high-priority tasks and maintains workflow continuity. Buffering ensures flexibility without sacrificing structure, allowing the day to remain productive even under changing conditions. Delegate tasks strategically to maximize efficiency. Recognize responsibilities that can be handled by others without compromising quality. Effective delegation frees personal time for high-value activities while empowering others and strengthening overall productivity. Choosing when and what to delegate is critical for maintaining focus and ensuring energy is applied where it yields the greatest impact. Use technology judiciously to enhance time management. Tools such as calendars, reminders, task managers, and automation software can streamline scheduling, track progress, and reduce cognitive burden. Avoid over-reliance or distraction from these tools. Use them as instruments to structure time rather than as sources of constant interruption. Technological support amplifies efficiency when applied intentionally. Integrate short, purposeful breaks to maintain sustained performance. Continuous work without rest diminishes concentration and cognitive efficiency. Brief pauses for stretching, hydration, or mindfulness refresh mental energy and sustain attention. Structured recovery periods prevent fatigue, preserve focus, and allow the mind to approach each block with renewed clarity and vigor. Focus on one task at a time to protect efficiency. Multitasking diminishes output quality, increases error rates, and prolongs task completion. Give full attention to the current priority before moving on. Completing one item thoroughly reduces cognitive switching costs and provides a sense of progress that fuels momentum for subsequent activities. Concentrated attention is the cornerstone of effective time management. Plan transition strategies between tasks. Allow a brief mental reset when moving from one focus block to another. Use micro moments to review accomplishments, recalibrate priorities, or shift energy toward the next activity. Transitions prevent lingering cognitive residue from disrupting subsequent performance and reinforce deliberate application of attention throughout the day. Track time spent on recurring activities to identify inefficiencies. Maintain a log for several days to discover patterns of overcommitment, distraction, or procrastination. Data-driven insight allows adjustments that reclaim lost time and streamline workflows. Awareness of actual time usage transforms abstract schedules into actionable and accurate plans. Cultivate a proactive mindset rather than reactive scheduling. Anticipate upcoming tasks and deadlines, and act ahead of time rather than responding only when pressure arises. Proactivity reduces stress, prevents last-minute scrambling, and ensures energy is applied thoughtfully to tasks with meaningful impact. Daily foresight strengthens both efficiency and reliability. Incorporate mindful decision-making about how time is spent. Each commitment should be evaluated in terms of value, impact, and alignment with objectives. Avoid accepting low-priority demands or engagements that detract from focus. Thoughtful allocation ensures time remains dedicated to the most productive and meaningful endeavors. Combine long-term planning with daily execution. Align daily schedules with weekly, monthly, and annual objectives to ensure consistency and purpose. Each day should contribute incrementally toward larger ambitions, making time management a vehicle for sustained growth rather than a reactive juggling of tasks. Alignment enhances focus, reduces wasted effort, and maximizes the productivity of every hour invested. End the day with a structured review and preparation for the next. Note completed goals, adjust pending items, and organize resources for immediate action tomorrow. Closure prevents tasks from lingering mentally, reduces stress, and ensures that each new day begins with clarity. A disciplined routine of review and preparation magnifies productivity and embeds time management as a core daily habit. Mastering time management is a practice of conscious choice and deliberate action. By controlling how time is allocated, prioritizing effectively, eliminating waste, and maintaining structured focus, productivity multiplies without increasing stress. Each day becomes a series of intentional actions guided by clarity, energy, and purpose. Daily application builds competence, confidence, and consistency, turning time into a reliable instrument for achieving meaningful results and sustained personal growth. Number 8. Challenge your brain continuously to expand thinking capacity. Challenge your brain continuously to expand thinking capacity. The human mind thrives when it is stimulated, tested, and stretched beyond its comfort zone. Growth does not occur through routine repetition alone. It requires deliberate engagement with novel, complex, or demanding tasks that force the brain to adapt. Continuous cognitive challenge strengthens neural pathways, improves problem-solving ability, and enhances mental flexibility. By intentionally exposing the mind to new experiences, ideas, and skills, thinking capacity expands, creativity flourishes, and resilience to complexity grows. Begin by seeking unfamiliar intellectual activities. Reading topics outside your usual interests, learning a new language, or exploring a different field of study introduces fresh concepts and mental patterns. Novelty forces the brain to form new connections, creating neural plasticity that enhances overall cognitive performance. Exposure to diverse perspectives expands understanding and encourages adaptive thinking rather than habitual responses. Engage in complex problem-solving regularly. Approach puzzles, strategic games, or challenging projects that require multi-step reasoning. The effort of analyzing, hypothesizing, and evaluating outcomes develops executive function and sharpens decision-making skills. Deliberate practice of mental challenges builds confidence in handling uncertainty and complexity, creating a foundation for higher-order thinking. Incorporate cross-disciplinary learning to diversify mental stimulation. For example, studying mathematics alongside art, philosophy alongside technology, or literature alongside psychology encourages connections between previously unlinked ideas. Cross-disciplinary engagement develops integrative thinking, enabling the mind to synthesize information in innovative ways. The brain learns to recognize patterns and relationships that enhance creativity and strategic insight. Practice deliberate curiosity as a daily habit. Question assumptions, explore why processes exist, and seek deeper understanding of familiar concepts. Avoid accepting information passively. Instead, probe for underlying principles and interconnection. Curiosity drives exploration, maintains engagement, and encourages continuous cognitive expansion. By cultivating an inquisitive mindset, the brain is constantly challenged to consider new possibilities. Use cognitive exercises to improve mental agility. Activities such as memory training, mental calculations, or reasoning exercises strengthen attention, working memory, and analytical capacity. These exercises create resilience against mental fatigue and improve the speed and accuracy of thought. Consistent practice ensures that neural pathways are reinforced, enhancing overall thinking efficiency. Engage in reflective thinking to deepen understanding. After completing tasks or solving problems, review the process, outcomes, and alternative approaches. Reflecting on experience sharpens judgment and encourages strategic adaptation in future situations. Continuous reflection transforms learning from surface-level activity into durable insight that strengthens mental capacity. Adopt the habit of learning a new skill regularly. Physical, technical, or creative skills challenge different cognitive functions. Learning a musical instrument, coding, drawing, or a new sport activates novel neural circuits, increases coordination between cognitive domains, and develops persistence and adaptability. Each new skill enhances problem-solving, memory, and flexibility, expanding the mind's operational capacity. Challenge assumptions in daily thinking. When making decisions or analyzing information, consciously examine biases, preconceptions, and habitual patterns. Evaluate whether conclusions are based on evidence, experience, or convenience. This practice disrupts automatic thought patterns, strengthens critical thinking, and cultivates intellectual resilience. A mind accustomed to questioning itself adapts more effectively to change and complexity. Seek problem-solving in real-world contexts. Engage with projects that require application of knowledge to practical situations. Whether it is developing a solution at work, organizing a community initiative, or designing an experiment, real-world challenges demand integration of skills, analysis, and creativity. Contextual application reinforces learning and enhances the capacity to transfer cognitive ability to diverse scenarios. Use deliberate constraints to increase creativity. Set limits such as time restrictions, material limitations, or minimal resources when tackling problems. Constraints force the mind to explore alternative solutions and think innovatively. Challenging the brain under structured limitations builds flexibility, encourages unconventional strategies, and enhances resourcefulness in complex situations. Incorporate discussion and debate into daily thinking routines. Engaging with others who hold differing viewpoints challenges assumptions and tests reasoning. Articulating arguments clearly, responding to counterpoints, and defending conclusions strengthens cognitive structure and adaptability. Constructive intellectual exchange broadens understanding and enhances the ability to process diverse information critically. Apply mental visualization exercises. Mentally rehearsing scenarios, outcomes, and processes exercises imagination and planning skills. Visualization improves problem anticipation, strategic thinking, and mental simulation of alternatives. The brain becomes more adept at analyzing complex situations before acting, enhancing efficiency and reducing error. Introduce incremental difficulty to learning and problem-solving tasks. Start with moderately challenging tasks and progressively increase complexity. Gradual escalation trains the mind to handle higher cognitive loads without becoming overwhelmed. Incremental challenge builds confidence and prepares the brain for sustained engagement with increasingly complex problems. Diversify sensory and cognitive input. Engage in activities that require attention to multiple stimuli simultaneously, such as music composition, painting while analyzing patterns, or multi-tiered strategy games. This type of engagement enhances integration of sensory information, coordination of thought processes, and flexibility in handling complex tasks. A mind trained to process multiple inputs efficiently demonstrates superior adaptability. Apply analogical thinking to connect unrelated concepts. Seek parallels between different domains and draw insights from unexpected relationships. Analogical reasoning enhances creativity, problem-solving, and conceptual understanding. By constantly challenging the brain to recognize patterns across disparate contexts, mental agility expands and deeper cognitive networks are formed. Practice mindfulness in conjunction with cognitive challenges. Being fully present while engaging with difficult tasks reduces distractions, increases focus, and allows the mind to operate at optimal capacity. Mindfulness reinforces mental stamina, deepens observation, and enhances learning efficiency during complex problem-solving or skill development. Integrate memory strengthening exercises. Work on recalling information, organizing concepts, and linking ideas in a coherent structure. Memory enhancement supports higher-order thinking by freeing cognitive resources and allowing complex reasoning without overloading mental capacity. Regular memory training increases retention, comprehension, and integration of new knowledge. Embrace failure as a necessary aspect of cognitive growth. Challenging the brain inevitably leads to mistakes or imperfect results. Treat errors as data, analyze causes, and adjust strategies accordingly. Resilient engagement with failure strengthens problem-solving capacity, adaptability, and persistence. Continuous intellectual challenge, paired with constructive response to failure, accelerates cognitive development. Engage in teaching or explaining complex concepts to others. Articulating ideas clearly requires deep understanding, organization of thought, and anticipation of questions or counterpoints. Teaching reinforces knowledge, reveals gaps, and strengthens reasoning ability. The process of guiding others through complex material challenges the brain to operate at higher levels of clarity and synthesis. Set long-term cognitive goals with measurable outcomes. Establish milestones for skills acquisition, reasoning improvement, or creative output. Structured targets provide direction for continuous brain challenge and allow for assessment of progress. Goal-directed mental engagement ensures deliberate growth rather than sporadic, unfocused activity. Integrate problem anticipation into daily routine. Predict potential challenges in projects, tasks, or interactions, and generate possible solutions proactively. Anticipatory thinking increases preparedness, reduces reactionary behavior, and strengthens mental flexibility. The brain becomes accustomed to strategic evaluation, scenario planning, and adaptive thinking under varied conditions. Commit to consistent and deliberate intellectual engagement. Sporadic challenges produce minimal growth, while regular, structured effort compounds over time. Daily dedication to stretching cognitive abilities reinforces neural networks, enhances efficiency, and expands thinking capacity. Continuous challenge fosters innovation, adaptability, and the mental resilience required for complex problem-solving and high-level decision-making. By continuously challenging the brain through diverse, deliberate and progressively complex exercises, thinking capacity expands and cognitive resilience grows. The mind becomes agile, creative, and capable of processing intricate information efficiently. Persistent engagement with novelty, complexity, and reflection ensures that intellectual potential is realized, decisions are sharper, and problem-solving ability reaches new levels of sophistication, creating a foundation for lifelong growth and achievement. Number 9. Reflect on actions consistently to refine habits and strategies. Reflect on actions consistently to refine habits and strategies. Self-reflection is the bridge between experience and improvement. Without intentional reflection, behaviors are repeated unconsciously, successes are unexamined, and mistakes are often repeated. Consistent reflection allows the mind to analyze choices, recognize patterns, and adjust actions to align with long-term goals. It transforms experience into actionable insight, ensuring growth is deliberate rather than accidental. Developing a disciplined habit of reflection enhances awareness, sharpens judgment, and strengthens the ability to optimize strategies across all areas of life. Begin by setting aside dedicated time each day for reflection. Even 15 minutes of quiet contemplation or journaling can reveal patterns in thought, behavior, and results. Focus on what actions were effective, which were counterproductive, and what could have been done differently. Daily reflection ensures learning is incremental, habits are reinforced, and decisions are continuously refined. Consistency in this practice strengthens self-discipline and enhances the capacity for conscious growth. Record reflections in a structured format. Writing down observations creates clarity, organizes thoughts, and allows patterns to emerge over time. Journaling provides a tangible record of progress, setbacks, and insights that can be reviewed for deeper understanding. A structured approach might include sections for accomplishments, challenges, lessons learned, and next steps. This process transforms fleeting thoughts into actionable strategies. Analyze outcomes objectively. Examine the results of actions without judgment or self-criticism. Distinguish between factors within control and external influences, recognizing the difference between controllable and uncontrollable elements allows for more precise adjustments to strategies and habits. Objective analysis prevents emotional bias from clouding judgment and ensures learning is based on accurate assessment rather than subjective interpretation. Identify recurring patterns in actions and outcomes. Consistent reflection reveals trends in productivity, focus, and decision-making. Patterns indicate both strengths and areas that require improvement. For example, noticing that high-energy periods coincide with certain routines can guide future scheduling, while repeated errors may reveal inefficient habits or blind spots. Recognizing these patterns enables proactive adjustments rather than reactive fixes. Evaluate time allocation to assess efficiency. Reflect on how time was spent during the day, week, or month. Determine which activities contributed meaningfully to goals and which consumed energy without return. Adjust routines and schedules based on insights gained from this evaluation. Strategic time management becomes more effective when informed by reflective assessment of past usage. Reflect on emotional responses to actions. Emotions influence behavior, decision-making, and focus. Take note of moments of frustration, excitement, or anxiety, and analyze their triggers. Understanding emotional patterns allows the development of strategies to maintain equilibrium, sustain focus, and respond intentionally rather than impulsively. Emotional awareness enhances clarity in planning and executing tasks. Use reflective questioning to deepen insight. Ask questions such as what worked, what did not, why outcomes occurred, and what can be changed next time. Probing with thoughtful questions encourages critical thinking and ensures reflection goes beyond surface-level observation. The goal is to extract actionable intelligence that informs future behavior. Assess habits in light of long-term objectives. Determine whether daily routines, behaviors, and decisions are aligned with broader goals. Identify habits that support growth and those that impede progress. Reflection provides the lens to make intentional choices about which practices to reinforce, modify, or eliminate. Strategic habit refinement ensures energy is focused on actions that compound toward meaningful results. Incorporate feedback from external sources. Seek input from mentors, colleagues, or peers to complement personal reflection. Others can provide perspectives or insights that may not be apparent internally. Integrating external feedback with self-analysis enhances accuracy and provides a broader understanding of effectiveness. Constructive feedback combined with reflection creates a comprehensive view for improvement. Set specific goals for improvement based on reflection. Insights gained should translate into concrete actions or adjustments, whether it involves refining a skill, changing a routine, or approaching challenges differently. Actionable goals ensure reflection produces measurable growth. Clear steps derived from analysis prevent stagnation and keep momentum toward continuous self-improvement. Review decisions with an eye toward efficiency. Analyze choices to identify areas where processes could have been faster, simpler, or more effective. Reflection on decision-making efficiency strengthens strategic thinking, sharpens judgment, and allows for streamlined execution in future tasks. Efficiency grows through the repeated examination and adjustment of decision processes. Consider the broader context of actions. Reflect not only on isolated tasks, but also on how actions fit into overarching goals, values, and life priorities. Evaluating behavior in context ensures alignment with purpose and prevents wasted effort on activities that do not contribute meaningfully to long-term objectives. Contextual reflection strengthens strategic foresight. Implement periodic reflection sessions beyond daily practice. Weekly, monthly, or quarterly reviews provide insight into trends, cumulative progress, and evolving challenges. These extended reflections allow evaluation of long-term habits, strategic adjustments, and trajectory toward major goals. Longer-term assessment complements daily reflection and supports sustained growth. Balance reflection with action. Reflection with action. Reflection without implementation yields minimal results. Insights must translate into behavioral changes, new strategies, or adjusted routine. Use reflective analysis as a guide to immediate improvements, ensuring that reflection is practical, actionable, and results-oriented. The combination of thought and deliberate action solidifies progress. Maintain honesty and self-integrity during reflection. Avoid rationalizing mistakes or overstating successes. Accurate self-assessment is critical for identifying opportunities for improvement. Honest reflection fosters resilience, adaptability, and credibility in personal evaluation. Integrity in this practice strengthens confidence in the insights generated. Integrate reflection into decision-making processes. Before initiating complex tasks or projects, review similar past experiences and outcomes. Consider what worked, what failed, and how lessons can be applied. This proactive reflection minimizes repetition of errors and improves efficiency, foresight, and overall strategic execution. Document lessons learned for future reference. Create a repository of reflections, strategies, and adjustments. Reviewing this knowledge, when similar challenges arise, accelerates learning and reduces trial and error inefficiencies. A documented system transforms reflection into a practical resource for continuous improvement. Combine reflection with mindfulness to enhance awareness. Paying full attention to present actions, while later evaluating them, deepens insight and ensures that lessons are grounded in reality. Mindful reflection reduces bias, increases clarity, and strengthens the capacity to recognize subtle influences on behavior and outcomes. Use reflective practice to reinforce accountability. Honest evaluation of performance, combined with goal setting and strategy refinement, ensures responsibility for results. Regular reflection cultivates discipline, reduces complacency, and strengthens commitment to continuous growth. Accountability through reflection nurtures personal integrity and enhances long-term productivity. Apply reflection to both successes and failures. Analyze not only what went wrong, but also what went right and why. Understanding the elements that produce success allows replication and refinement of effective strategies. Balanced reflection ensures continuous improvement across all areas of performance, rather than focusing solely on error correction. Experiment with alternative strategies informed by reflection. Test different approaches to recurring challenges and evaluate outcomes. This cycle of reflection, experimentation, and evaluation strengthens adaptive thinking, encourages innovation, and expands the repertoire of effective responses. The brain becomes more agile and capable of navigating complexity through iterative refinement. Commit to reflection as a disciplined habit. Daily, weekly, and long-term practice ensures that experiences are consistently converted into learning opportunities. Over time, habitual reflection enhances self-awareness, decision-making quality, and the efficiency of habits and strategies. A reflective mind continuously evolves, making incremental improvements that compound into significant growth and mastery. By consistently reflecting on actions, evaluating outcomes, and adjusting behaviors, habits and strategies become refined, purposeful, and effective. Reflection transforms experience into insight, mistakes into learning, and routines into deliberate systems for achievement. With disciplined self-evaluation, awareness deepens, choices improve, and progress becomes sustainable, creating a foundation for ongoing personal growth, efficiency, and success. Number 10. Sustain energy levels naturally to maintain peak mental performance. Sustain energy levels naturally to maintain peak mental performance. Mental sharpness depends on consistent energy, not sporadic bursts fueled by stimulants or temporary hacks. Natural energy management is the foundation of focus, productivity, and resilience. Without it, even the most disciplined routines collapse under fatigue, distraction, or burnout. The goal is to create a system of sustainable energy that supports long periods of cognitive engagement, physical vitality, and emotional balance. Begin by prioritizing high-quality nutrition. Consume meals rich in whole foods, complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, and protein to provide a steady supply of energy. Avoid excessive sugar, processed foods, and artificial additives, which create short-term spikes, followed by crashes that impair mental clarity. Proper hydration is equally essential, as even mild dehydration reduces attention, memory, and reasoning capacity. Nourishment fuels both body and mind, establishing a stable foundation for sustained performance. Incorporate regular physical activity. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, enhances oxygen delivery, and supports the production of neurochemicals that improve focus and mood. Both aerobic and strength training exercises contribute to energy regulation by promoting efficient metabolism and reducing fatigue. Short bursts of movement during the day, such as stretching or walking, prevent stagnation, refresh the mind, and maintain alertness. Prioritize quality sleep. Restorative sleep is critical for cognitive function, memory consolidation, and emotional regulation. Establish consistent sleep routines, maintain a dark and quiet environment, and avoid stimulants or screens before bedtime. Sleep deprivation diminishes attention, slows processing speed, and reduces problem-solving ability. Natural energy is cultivated when sleep is treated as a non-negotiable foundation rather than a flexible convenience. Manage stress proactively. Chronic stress drains both mental and physical energy, leaving the mind scattered and fatigued. Employ techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or mindfulness to regulate the nervous system. Regular periods of relaxation allow recovery, prevent mental overload, and enhance focus. Learning to recognize early signs of stress and address them immediately preserves energy for productive engagement rather than reactive coping. Schedule energy-intensive tasks during peak periods. Identify times of day when alertness and cognitive capacity are highest, and allocate demanding projects to those windows. Aligning work with natural energy rhythms ensures optimal performance and reduces wasted effort. Less intensive tasks can be scheduled during lower energy periods to maintain productivity without overextending mental resources. Use micro breaks strategically. Short pauses throughout the day, lasting 1 to 5 minutes, allow the nervous system to reset and prevent cognitive fatigue. These moments can involve stretching, deep breathing, or mindful observation of surroundings. Consistent micro breaks prevent prolonged depletion, maintain focus, and sustain motivation over extended periods of activity. Incorporate exposure to natural light. Sunlight regulates circadian rhythms, promotes alertness, and enhances mood. Regular outdoor activity or positioning workspaces near windows can improve energy levels and overall well-being. Light exposure signals the brain to maintain wakefulness, improving concentration and responsiveness. Practice controlled breathing to energize the mind. Techniques such as diaphragmatic breathing, box breathing, or alternating nostril breathing increase oxygenation, calm the nervous system, and sharpen focus. Breathing exercises act as a natural, instant energy booster without reliance on caffeine or stimulants. Controlled breathing prepares the brain for sustained engagement and clear thinking. Maintain consistent hydration. Water is critical for cognitive processing, nutrient transport, and temperature regulation. Inadequate fluid intake causes fatigue, reduced attention, and slower reaction times. Drinking water consistently throughout the day ensures the brain and body function efficiently, supporting sustained mental performance. Cultivate mental variety and stimulation. Monotony drains energy and reduces engagement. Rotate tasks. Introduce novel challenges or change environments periodically to maintain cognitive vitality. Mental stimulation prevents fatigue associated with repetitive or unengaging activities, keeping attention sharp and energy levels consistent. Balance work and recovery cycles. Intense focus periods should be followed by deliberate rest or leisure to allow energy restoration. Overextension leads to diminished performance, irritability, and decreased motivation. Structured alternation between effort and recovery ensures sustained productivity and prevents long-term burnout. Integrate nutrient-rich snacks strategically. Healthy snacks, such as nuts, fruits, or yogurt, provide steady energy between meals without causing spikes and crashes. Snack timing can bridge low energy periods and maintain consistent mental performance throughout the day. Proper fuel between meals supports continuous focus and prevents energy dips. Limit excessive caffeine and stimulant. While caffeine can temporarily enhance alertness, overuse leads to dependency, energy crashes, and disrupted sleep. Relying on natural energy sources such as nutrition, movement, and rest produces more sustainable cognitive performance. Moderation ensures that stimulants supplement rather than replace natural vitality. Engage in cognitive variety. Switch between different types of tasks to maintain mental engagement without exhausting a single cognitive resource. For instance, alternate between analytical problem solving, creative thinking, and routine organizational work. This rotation prevents fatigue in specific neural circuits and sustains overall brain efficiency. Monitor energy patterns and adapt routine. Track times of high and low alertness and adjust schedules accordingly. Awareness of personal energy rhythms allows deliberate alignment of tasks with natural fluctuations, enhancing efficiency and preventing unnecessary depletion. Adapting to internal energy cues ensures that effort is applied where it yields maximum return. Incorporate social interaction mindfully. Positive engagement with colleagues, friends, or family can energize the mind by providing stimulation, support, and perspective. Social connection releases neurochemicals that enhance mood and motivation. Mindful interaction prevents emotional fatigue and contributes to a balanced energy state. Practice gratitude and positive mental framing. Focusing on progress, accomplishments, and positive experiences energizes the mind and encourages proactive engagement. Optimistic cognitive patterns reduce mental resistance and increase persistence, sustaining attention and effort. Positive mental framing transforms routine activity into purposeful and motivating engagement. Reduce decision fatigue. Minimize trivial choices by pre-planning meals, routines, and minor decisions. Conserving mental energy for high-priority tasks preserves focus and prevents cognitive exhaustion. Decision management maintains clarity, improves performance, and ensures natural energy is reserved for meaningful activities. Use mindfulness and meditation to regulate energy flow. Mindful attention restores cognitive capacity by reducing rumination, mental clutter, and stress-induced energy depletion. Regular meditation strengthens focus, enhances mental clarity, and improves the ability to sustain attention over extended periods. Mindfulness practices integrate mental rest with active engagement, supporting natural energy sustainability. Maintain ergonomic and comfortable work conditions. Physical discomfort or poor posture drains energy and diverts attention. Adjust seating, lighting, and workspace to optimize comfort and reduce unnecessary strain. Physical efficiency supports sustained mental effort and prevents fatigue from undermining performance. Incorporate periodic reflection on energy use. Evaluate how activities impact alertness and stamina throughout the day. Identify habits that contribute to energy depletion and modify routines accordingly. Awareness of personal energy expenditure ensures intentional management rather than reactive coping, foster creativity and intrinsic motivation. Engaging in meaningful and enjoyable work naturally elevates energy levels. Passion-driven effort enhances focus, perseverance, and overall cognitive performance. Aligning tasks with personal values and interests ensures energy is directed efficiently and purposefully. Commit to natural energy management as a daily discipline. Sustained energy does not arise from occasional attention, but from consistent habits, routines, and self-awareness. Daily practice of nutrition, exercise, rest, mindfulness, and strategic task planning reinforces cognitive stamina, mental clarity, and resilience. Natural energy becomes the backbone of continuous focus, peak performance, and consistent achievement. By sustaining energy levels naturally, the mind operates at full capacity. Focus remains sharp and productivity is optimized. Each decision, task, and challenge can be approached with clarity, vigor, and intentionality. Energy management is not merely physical, but holistic, integrating nutrition, movement, rest, mental engagement, and emotional regulation. Mastering this habit ensures that peak mental performance is maintained consistently, enabling disciplined focus, effective action, and long-term personal and professional growth.